Good morning, everyone. I'm here at the farm working on putting in some tulips, and I thought I would take you along as I prep the bed and then go ahead and get everything planted. We have a little over 2,000 tulips, which isn't much for a tulip grower. We just do enough to kind of fill in our bouquets and then also help with our weddings and things like that. Plus, it's kind of fun to have early blooms. We are planting them outdoors this year, and I thought I would just take you along as we do that. The other plan we have for these tulips is this. I'm going to pot up a few of them for the nursery. So I have some different varieties that they're just harder to get. And then I'm gonna also have just some bulbs available on our online Shopify. So if you're interested, I'll put a link below and we will add that in there for you. So these are kind of fun because we try and pick colors that are just really, really kind of our style, a little bit more, what would you say? Just more of the cottage garden vibe. So not so reds, reds and yellows, and yet those are really, really pretty. They just don't really go well with weddings and different things that we have going here on the farm. So I thought I would run through a little bit of a list of all the varieties that we have as we plant them, and then kind of pop up a picture for you just to kind of see what they'll look like in full bloom. Yeah, tulips are one of those things where just adding in a few in your garden, sometimes it can be a little bit tricky because, you might have mature items and then you kind of have to dig down, plant your bulbs, and tulips generally don't come back really well the second year. Sometimes they will, and different varieties do different things. Sometimes the squirrels get them, and the birds, and all kinds of things. So, like I said, it's not too late to plant. We actually plant on into the early spring. It just kind of depends on where you're at. And if you're in a warmer climate, obviously it's harder to grow tulips. If you're in a cool climate, it's really easy. And then we're kind of in a mixed climate, so we're not super, super cold or not very, we don't get very warm either. So we grow actually a lot of tulips here in the Pacific Northwest. There's some big growers just down the road from us actually produce a beautiful, beautiful crop. So we're able to grow them fairly well. So that's what we're doing. All right. So what I'm going to do first is I've got a row of old campanula that was from last year that I just kind of left. We got a couple cuttings off of it. It's in a raised bed. I'm going to pull that campanula out, and then I'm going to get ready to plant all these tulips and go through each one with you as we go. I hope you enjoy this video. Okay, so my thought for today is to pull all of this campanula up. It's all dried. Most of the seed is gone. We actually harvested seed off of it to plant more for the spring. There is a few that are starting to self-seed through here, which is not bad, but we're gonna be actually adding a whole layer of compost. So I'm gonna be putting our tulip bulbs down, marking them well, and then putting down a compost mix over the top of it. So for now, I'm just gonna kind of pull out all of these campanulas and get them in a pile that I can go ahead and take back out to the burn pile. So, or the compost. This will probably go to the burn pile. This soil is really nice here. This is something I've been working on for about a year now. So it's kind of fun to use raised beds. And the reason we have raised beds back here is partly because we have just a little bit of a water issue, a lot of standing water out here. So this has actually helped quite a bit that I can actually work the soil in, this is late or mid-fall or late fall, I guess. Christmas is right around the corner. So, but I'm able to get out here and work in the gardens, and it's actually really, really nice just to, be able to dig in and get it all taken care of and get stuff planted year round. The forecast is calling for rain later tonight and then into tomorrow just a little bit. And then we're going to just kind of have intermittent kind of dry spells throughout. So I'm trying to just get this bed cleared out so that we can start planting the bulbs. We have an order of compost coming tomorrow, and so that'll be dropped. And I had Keith go down and check it, and it's beautiful. It smells like the woodland forest mixed in with a little bit of compost or a little bit of manure. It's just really yummy. So he's really excited about that. I'm excited to see it tomorrow. So the plan is to lay our bulbs down into blocks of like kinds, and then we're just gonna put a little bit of compost over the top of it, and then we're gonna actually net these or cover them. I'm not sure which one we're gonna do yet, partly because we do have birds that will come and just kind of eat ours. We've just struggled with that a little bit. We kind of live next to a wetland where we have a lot of birds migrating through this area, so we struggle with that just a little bit. But yeah, the soil is really nice. Okay, so I got the bed completely pulled of any weeds and all of the campanula out. We had the purple variety, a white, and a pink. And we used them in mixed bouquets last year, and it worked great. The white was super popular for weddings, and I could have grown like a whole field full of that. The other ones were harder to sell and to grow for me for some reason. Anyways, but what this bed is, so I don't know if you guys remember, but I think it was maybe a year and a half ago or so, Jason and I built these raised beds for the water reasons that we have out here. And then we had a company come in and fill them with a 50-50 mix, which is part compost, part sandy loam, which is a really nice soil to work with. And I wanted these beds to be no dig. And part of the reason is I struggle with my hands just because I work so much. Like that one doesn't close all the way. Anyways, I work so much with my hands that I've had to like adjust some of the things I do with gardening. And so this was one of the ways my husband's like, hey, let's just do some raised beds. Let's go ahead and get really nice soil and let's do a no dig method. So with tulips, this actually works really, really well because we actually just put them in right on top of the soil, add our compost, and then by the time we pull actually the whole bulb with the tulip on, and so by the time we're done harvesting, we might have a few bulbs left that come back the next year, but for the most part, we're pulling it out and then we're getting ready to plant something else, which I'm not sure what we're gonna plant in there. We're gonna do a kind of like a farm plan with you guys in January, and I'll know more of what's gonna go replacing the tulips after we're done here. So it's actually really nice to work in soil that is just so lovely. I'm just like having fun with it for sure. Okay, so I'm going to get this mess cleaned up, rake it over a little bit, and then I'm gonna have to wait until tomorrow to get the tulips in and the compost down. So with this no-till bed, the goal is not to disturb the soil too much. So I have done a very little, just raked it through a little bit, and now it's ready for our tulip bulbs to go on top. So we're gonna get going on that and showing you what we have. I bopped into the studio for a few minutes because I'm cold. The sun was out for a while and it was great, but now the sun has gone away and that's when the chill sets in. So I'm just coming to warm myself with our new heater, which we're super excited about. Jason finally got that up and going. It's just a gas heater. Actually keeps this very nice and warm. I know I am a little chilled, but you know, walking in here, it's just nice to have a place. Since we don't live at the Crowley house anymore, technically, it's our house, but we're renting it out to Keith and his family. It's just nice to have a place to come to that's just warm and a place you can, you know, just get out of the weather a little bit. And so Jason's made it really, really nice. We have a fridge in here. We have a few other things going just to make it a little more, I don't know, homey and cozy. But pretty soon the studio is gonna go from Christmas, which we're just finishing up our last wreath orders, to full on production of seeds, starting and going for the nursery and for the cut flower farm. So that'll be a whole thing coming along. I always think that I'm done for the season, that I get a break, but alas, no, I don't. So we'll just be taking you along with us, and it'll just be kind of, well, at least you'll be entertained, I hope. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go see what Riley's doing and see if I can get her to help me make the last wreaths. We have 5 more to go, done for the season. Thank you, Lord. We're finishing on just the few wreaths that we have left. So this is our last order that's going out. I love doing wreaths, but Manny Fanny, when the last one is done, it's so nice just to kind of like close the box, ship it out, we're good. So I have Braden here helping me just finish that out, and then we're gonna get back to planting. Braden and I have one more project that's going out, and this is a garland. This is a really fun way to dress up any garland, actually. This is a garland that we bought wholesale from another farm here in Oregon who makes a fresh evergreen simple garland. This is, I believe it looks like it might be a cedar type, but not 100% with that because it doesn't have that smell. So it's almost like it's like a cypress or something. I'm not totally for sure. Anyways, so what our idea is, so there's a Christmas concert, a fundraiser for Juliet's house in McMinnville. And so what we're doing is a simple garland along the stage at Linfield College. The auditorium there is absolutely stunning. So I've been there several times when my kids have sang for concerts and things like that. They both loved singing and did amazing stuff when they were kids. So this is kind of fun going back. But I thought I would take you along as we do this. We're taking a little break from planting the tulips and getting this set up for the concert tonight. And so it should turn out really, really nicely. So the idea is we cut the garland down to 40 feet because that's the length of the stage. We are adding in some white lights to it, and then we're adding in just a little bit of more texture to it to kind of give it an elevated look. Super simple to do. So you can go down to your hardware store and get a, maybe 6-foot garland for your mantle, and then it's wired through, and you can just literally stick in anything that you want. We're using a little bit of seeded ivy right now, but you could use anything. Magnolia, you could use sticks like curly willow, anything that is just kind of appealing to you, or even other greenery would work really well. So it's just a little fun project, and then it's almost like, you remember Sandra Lee? Simply Homemade, I think it's called, where she always took like a box cake or something and just kind of elevated it a little bit. Oh, I loved her show. So this is kind of doing something similar, except for with foliage and greenery. So we're gonna, and we'll probably style it a little bit more when we get there. Anyways, so it's kind of fun.
I'm just checking all the lights here, making sure they work, because it would not be good if we set them all up or put them in the garland before we actually check them, because if they don't work, then we have to take them out.
So what we're doing is every foot, Braden is wrapping, and then I'm just kind of like pulling the greenery out so that it kind of hides the cord a little bit, and then we're plugging in the next cord and then keep going like that. So I think it's gonna turn out really pretty when it's all done. As soon as we're done adding in all the lights, we're just gonna go ahead and add in the ivy and maybe a few other things, not sure yet. We're still playing with it. And then we're gonna go deliver it and get it all set up. We do also have a bridal bouquet that's going out today and a boutonniere corsage for a snowball prom. Riley did those already, so I'll show you what those look like in a minute.
Finding all the wire that's holding up some of the garland, and I'm just weaving these pieces in so we don't have to add wire.
first tulip we have is called Salna, which is, I guess, a Susanna, or short for Susanna in Dutch, which tulips come from the Netherlands. And so that's what I'm calling this one. It's Sanne. And it's beautiful. It's kind of a tulip shaped and it's variegated. So I'm going to show you a photo of it here, but that one's going to be really, really nice with the two color, two-toned, and also that little flared tulip shaped bulb. For the landscape, I think it would be amazing. And then also for our CSA bouquet. So if you're interested in CSA bouquets, we do ship, and we are going to be starting with tulips, anemones, ranunculus, things like that. And you can just bop online, and I have a link below in our Shopify that you can sign up for that. It's really, really a nice treat for yourself if you're interested. Okay, so the next tulip is Silver Cloud. I absolutely, hands down, love this one. This is so beautiful. It is kind of a light, pale lavender, and it has a little bit of a striation in it, and it looks like some of the tulips might even have a darker stripe in it that would complement like putting this one in the landscape as well alongside that Salna one. Those would look really, really pretty, and I believe they both have different times that they come up. So you would get a longer period of bloom time with your tulips. But if you like lavender or the kind of the cool colors, I think both of these would be really, really nice together in the landscape. But also again, for bouquets and things like that, is gonna be a stunner. The next tulip is Verona Ice. And now I love this one, especially for weddings, because it looks like a peony. It has double petals in it. I think hands down, this will bloom before the peonies start in. So if a bride or something or a design wants peonies and we just can't get them, some of these double tulips actually work really, really well for that. This one does have a little bit of a creamy undertone. So I actually don't like pure white. I like it just a little softened, or mixing a bright white with something like this that's got that creamy white to it. It's really, it just kind of elevates your design. So the next one I have for you is called Queen of the Night, and we have grown this one before. Again, a stunner. It is almost like a deep kind of ox blood purple, beautiful black kind of onyx look to it. And again, it just makes people stop and go, what the heck is that? Now, so far, all of our colors are very complementary to each other. So again, we're gonna be popping some of these through the gardens, and there's a reason for it, is because I want the colors to be all very pleasing. So not only are we using them in the gardens, but we're using them in bouquets and in weddings and events. So there's a reason to my madness on ordering tulips. Okay, so the next one I have is called Columbia. Now, this one is a stunner as well. This one has the double petals as well. Looks a lot like a peony. Ooh, trying to keep it focused for you guys. That one is gorgeous as well. And that kind of has almost a deep pink, almost into a red color for it. And the reason I have that one is partly for just our mixed bouquets, and also it just is a stunner in the kitchen. Like just a huge bouquet of that. Hands down, looks amazing. I love kind of using some of those big bright pops of color, especially early in the spring when everybody is a little bit like, I need some sun, I need a little life. That red is a really, really nice one. So the next one is called Blushing Impression. Now, this one's very Easter. Like, tell me if that doesn't remind you of an Easter egg. I don't know. I love that color. And these will be blooming about then. And so this is perfect for our Easter bouquets that are going out, our CSAs, anything. We want it very like romantic and blush and Easter colors and pastels and just the yummy colors that everybody is craving that time of year as far as Easter colors go. So that's why we have that one. So the next one in this batch is called Caracas. And I love this partly because it is just a bright and cheery, almost like orange, a little bit of yellow, and just red. I mean, again, this is something that I would put just a mass amount in my kitchen. So those are all the ones we have. We should have these up on our website as well if you wanted to order a few bulbs, but not all of them will be available, but we do have the majority of these up. Let's see, I thought I had some more. Let me look. Okay, so the rain is just coming down. We're just keep working anyways. But these are beautiful bulbs. They come in these mesh bags of 100, and this variety, this is cyan, and this one's that really pretty one that's kind of tulip shaped. We do have some of these online as well for purchase, and they are just a beautiful, beautiful bulb as well. So we're just laying them out in blocks, basically like light colors, and then we're gonna go ahead and you can see Keith just covering them back up. Like I said, we have problems with birds eating them, so we've got our hoops ready. We're gonna put the hoops on and cover these just so the birds don't come and enjoy them. Tulip bulbs are edible though. Did you know that?
Yeah.
You knew that. Oh, thought I taught him something he didn't know. So what we're doing is laying out kind of in sections of the different varieties that we have. You can see they come in those beautiful mesh bags, which you could reuse to soak vermiculus, that kind of thing. But anyways, we're laying them out in sections, and then Keith is cutting board to go between each one. These are gorgeous tulips. This is an early variety called Blushing Impression. So when we're lining them up, we just want to kind of nestle it into the soil. You can kind of see me taking that bottom end. So that's the side. This side down here is the side that will have the root. And then you can see on the top, this is an early variety, and it's already starting to push up the green growth. So again, just kind of pushing down, and we're gonna plant in rows, and we just give a little bit of room. We're gonna be covering these with about 5 inches of new compost. It's a kind of actually compost soil mix in these new raised beds, just kind of adding to them. And then we just kind of go along just like that, kind of make nice rows out of them. The other thing we're doing is each variety has a tag right here. Keith and I are just stapling it to each variety on the outside, because the plan is here at the Crowley house with the tulips is that we're going to actually have a you-pick tulip, and also in our farm stand, then people can come by and get, you know, a bouquet of tulips if they don't want to trudge out here and it's rainy and yucky like it is today. Then we'll have some cut already for folks. But it's just a fun interactive thing to do, and so we're doing lots of different really pretty varieties. And again, if you're looking for some, we'll have it in our Shopify, which is the links below. We have a few varieties there for you. And it's not too late to plant tulips. We actually do a succession of planting so that we have tulips for a longer period of time. Sometimes you can get them pre-chilled. We did that last year. This year we did not. I didn't feel like it made that big of a difference for us, but I could see in a warmer climate definitely doing that, throwing them in the fridge where it can be nice cool for several weeks, and then pulling them out. Anyways, today we're almost done with this project actually, which is nice because it is starting to dump. We're supposed to have, I think, 1/4 inch of rain today. It's kind of let up right now, which is really nice. Just giving us a little window to get everything done. I'm starting to get cold though. All right, I wanted to show you guys what's blooming here in the other little greenhouse. We actually have some anemones. So we're gonna be cutting wings, but look at that. Oh, I love the blue color. We also have this panda, which you can kind of see, it has that black center. They're just starting in really nicely for us. So just in time for Christmas, we have a few anemones on the farm, our first flower of the season, which is kind of cool. You can kind of see behind me, we do have quite a bit of water already standing, and that's why we put these raised beds in, so we can have extra growing space throughout the season, and it works really, really well for what we're doing here. We have a really nice mix of sandy loam and compost that we've been working on over the last year or so. So it's coming along really nice. It's working super great for, you know, if you have a troubled area that you need, you know, you have water standing or something like that, then you can have this raised bed that you can still garden or farm flowers. So working great. Well, I am really, really cold. We just have one more, the Queen of the Night, which is that beautiful dark purple black looking tulip, which I absolutely love. We have that one to plant. And then we have a couple other crates that I'm actually gonna plant them here in this little low tunnel, or I don't know, this little greenhouse. For now, I've gotta go set up an event and I'm gonna take Braden with me and we're gonna just get it all styled up. It's going to be at the Linfield College. We're doing a concert where there's like a concert going on, so it's on a stage. So we're just adding in a garland. And it's just really, I'm just wet and cold and tired and yeah, miserable right now. So even though I have all my layers on, it still is a bit much today. So I'm gonna take a break from planting tulips and then I'll catch back up on it in a little bit. So we're heading to McMinnville to set up the garland on the stage, but I'm taking this little back trail that's a little bit quicker for us to get to the other highway, and it's like a one-lane goat trail is what we call it. But this is the most beautiful spot in spring. Sorry, a little rough. Bulbs planted all through here. Beautiful Solomon seal and fertilias and all kinds of stuff. There was a gal, an elderly gal, that just had it on her heart to plant this little woodland drive. And it's amazing. I'll have to show you guys later in the spring. This will be a fun little drive to go down and see it. But yeah, super cool. Kind of fun to see that band because Riley went to school with a couple of them, and this is a family of 3, and I think it's called We 3, and it's the Hadley family. So it's really fun. They're doing a Christmas concert as a fundraiser. Braden and I got everything set up. It went really, really smoothly. We just used command strips. The white lights looked amazing, and we think it just added to the whole set as well. So we're just excited to be a part of it, and we think it turned out amazing. Anyways, until next time, much success in all you do and grow, and we'll be seeing you shortly back here at Crowley House very soon. Bye-bye, guys.